Hey, Will Mansell from Local 10 Sports here, and you are listening to SportsOvertime.com, where the clock doesn't matter.
You're listening to Off the Deep End, where we discuss conspiracies, the people who love them, aliens, and a little spirituality. I'm your host, Emmy, and welcome to our show.
Welcome to Off the Deep End. This is Emmy. It's a very nice day here in Miami, Florida, and we're glad to have you guys listening to us. Today we have Miss Christy Campbell coming in and speaking with us from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Christy, nice to have you with us.
Hi, Emmy. Thank you for inviting me on your show.
And Christy, for listening, for our listeners, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes. I am like with what you're wanting me to talk about with the spiritual. I'm a Reiki master, and I do healing work, distant and hands-on healing, and so that's my main passion with the with healing and like with animals and anything with energy and all that too will naturally be what I can send Reiki to if it's like an animal or a person or however. So so that's a big thing. And then I'm also an artist. I do all kinds of artwork all the time. It's another thing I'm passionate about as well.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's very nice. And Christy, I understand that you do various forms of Reiki. I think you do Karuna, which is like from Hawaii, and Usui, which is like the original form of Reiki.
Right.
And I also understand that you do medical scans too, right? So you can actually, scan a person and see what's going on with them, and then just kind of give them some recommendations for, what they can do for themselves, you can also do that for animals too.
That's right. With the Karuna Reiki, I got certified in all levels, but with the Karuna, then that can heal all the way to the very core of the trauma that's occurred in the person,
that's awesome.
And through that, I can do the energy scan I can see the energy in my mind, like the aura of the person, or I can draw it. Like if I have a sketch, I could do that as well and sketch out like the aura color and then where any kind of disalignment would be, or anybody can do this as well too. You just kind of scan a symptom with the energy, and if you feel an energy shift or change, then there's something different right there, and you can lay your hands on it, or usually that's what I do, and just let the Reiki flow through you and until that feels cleared again, and then you just keep going on down the body, or if you're doing it on the person or if it's on the paper, however, it's all the same, really. It looks the same, and you can send the distant Reiki as well, because it's just sending energy to the person. So
that's
in
really
animals as well.
Oh yeah,
I like to
tell
do
us more
animals,
about that.
like helping people with their animals if they're not feeling well. And then like with the aura drawings and energy scans, then whatever I pick up on, I tell the person, if it's, and it could be anything too, whatever comes to my mind, then I just write it down, and it might not make sense to me, but I'll share it. I share it anyways, because it more than likely makes sense to them. If it doesn't right then maybe it will later, so yeah, I love doing that.
That's awesome. And I know that you also do some kind of regressions. I've been in one of the sessions, a couple of sessions with you, where you come up with some pretty interesting things that were around me, and that they made a lot of sense like later on. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. When you take the Reiki classes, then it opens all your channels up, because it's like a flow of divine energy, and it kind of enhances all your natural gifts and gives you some too. So it's like you're an antenna in a way. So anything that I'm picking up on or that comes to mind, if I see something like in my mind, that's what it is. It's like a vision that I get. I get visions. That's a strong thing that I always get when I'm doing the Reiki scans, is anything that comes to mind. It could be something. It just is so different for every person, really, and a lot of the times it does it. The person is like, nobody knows that but me, so, and it's not anything embarrassing. It's just something, that maybe about their family or something. If they asked about their family, like I can, some people give me like a photograph of a family member or a friend or something, and ask me to look and see if anything is anything wrong, or if I sense anything, or if I can send them energy. So it's just various forms of energy, but it's kind of what they're asking me to do, that I'll tune in to do that.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
And I remember helping you do some energy work as well, sending energy, and for your dog as well.
Yeah, and that was really helpful.
Pets, animals, they're just open. They just share anything that you are, you just introduce. This is how I do usually. I just ask the animal or the person, like through my mind, telepathically, if they're wanting energy to be sent to them, and if most of the time they say yes, and like in my mind, I hear yes, so you ask that, so you kind of establish a connection with the person. And then they're aware that energy has been sent to them. So then they can receive it and kind of be in a relaxed state and be aware that it is coming to them, So, with animals, though, you can mentally just ask them, and then they just stay with you too. It's like a phone call or something, and that pops up like a little cloud. How the little chat box comes up, it's like, that's how it kind of registers. So, yeah, it's really something that I recommend everyone to take as well. If you can take a class, then that's really good. And because you have the experience, if you take the class with the teacher, and they give you the symbols in your hands, they write the symbols all in your hand, and then you have the whole experience with the class, and everyone in the classroom, they share Reiki as well. Like each person takes a turn on the table, on the Reiki table, and just practices what it feels like, the sensing, and the teacher will always be there to help you if you have questions and stuff like that. So that's always good to have, to take an actual course. And I have seen now that they have the online classes, which are good too, it's just a different experience for you. But definitely the symbols are sacred symbols that they give you. So you use those, you practice drawing those, and then you use those to send the energy, because each one of them has a different meaning, so, and you can send, you don't just pick which one for which person, or, you just let it flow out of you, but you have them all inside of you, because that's what the teacher gave you. It's like I wouldn't say like initiation, it's like an activation, from the teacher to the student.
Oh, that's wonderful. And I think you answered my question already, kind of about whether people can self-study or if it's better to go to an instructor. I personally think it's better to go to an instructor, but it's just like, oh, I don't have time, or maybe, there's a limited budget situation people have to worry about.
Yeah, if you can find someone that you like, and it's not, like really expensive, if they're, like my teacher, she had the weekend class. It was 2 days, and that was a really nice experience to do that, because you bond with the people there as well, and you can always call the teacher and ask them questions, and she's always there to help you as well too if you need help with sending energy or having a class, because if you have Reiki 1 and 2 and then go on to get Reiki Master, then you can be a teacher. You can teach it yourself and have classes, so it's up to you if you wanted to do anything like that. Or you can open up a business. You can send distant healing after you take the Reiki 1 and 2.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And then, but it's self-healing as well. So, if you, like, the reason why I decided to take Reiki is because my son, he has autism, and it helps, like with his digestive, all that kind of is a little bit messed up. And so I use it for relaxation for him as well. And usually I do it at nighttime when he's relaxing and fixing to fall asleep. I'll just leave my hands on his chest. Is usually where he holds my hand too. And he likes that. It's really like relaxing for him, because my hand just is warm, and it just like soothing energy, and it helps him to relax a lot. I've noticed, and I've also given him the Reiki, like give him the symbols and stuff, so he has them as well. So I think that's changed him a lot as well, like relaxing and everything.
That's really
so yeah,
good.
that's why I originally started doing the Reikis for his benefit, and then I just loved it after that, because I felt that I really like it came natural to me to want to, like, after you take the first class and you go home, then you're like, I want to heal everything. It's kind of funny how you have a different awareness after the first class, and you go back and then you can send, I took Reiki 1 and 2, that's why I took the whole weekend. And so after the second course, then I could send the healing, so that was really nice. I had a business too before. I did I went to pet stores and gave my business card, so if anyone wanted like pet Reiki, then I offered that. And here in Tulsa, it wasn't really that busy, so it didn't keep me going enough to make it a full-time business or anything like that. So, but I think it's growing now as people become more aware. It's like spiritual and Reiki is kind of more something people have heard of now than before. So, but yeah. So, and I do mostly a lot of the distant healing and stuff. That's what I prefer to do, to help people and everything, and their pets and stuff too. And I know that before I had helped a lady who, I guess she worked at a shelter or something like that, and the pit bull was in one of those, like a fighting dog, he was the bait dog.
Baby.
And she asked me if I would send them healing, and so I did that. She sent me the picture of the dog, and he was all beat up and everything, and I mentally asked, because I connect with the dog that way by asking if it would like healing. And some dogs or cats, they don't want it, or they don't answer. So I still just kind of see what's going on with them anyway, because maybe they just don't want to answer. But but most of the time I just do it just to
comfort
just a little
them.
bit, see what's going on with them, and then I can ask them questions, and sometimes I'll open up that way too if I ask them questions of something that's going on that I can see, or I just send energy to comfort them. Most of the time, that's the best thing to do is just send energy just to comfort their, if they're nervous or something. But anyway, with the pit bull, then he did recover after a while, and he was adopted and sent, that he has a home and everything. But yeah, because I did hear the dog said that he would like to, he'll fight it, he'll keep going. So I knew that he would be okay after I asked him that. Usually if they say that, then they'll be okay, But they can change their mind too. Everybody has that free will as well. So I don't say, yeah, he said he's gonna be alive, nothing crazy. I
As
just
opposed
let
to
it be.
like, he's ready to go.
Yeah,
At it.
I don't ever give that information. Even if I
yeah.
do hear it, I just keep sending the energy and let them make that choice themselves, So,
Right.
that, because that can change any time, of course, They can decide, guess I'll stay, So anyway, yeah, I love doing the animals a lot because they just relax right into it. And I did go to a horse farm as well before. It was like their Arabian stallions and stuff. He had asked me to come there to do the horse because it was really nervous all the time. And there's like a show horse. And so I ended up doing all of his horses because he saw a benefit in that horse and was really relaxing. And I could pinpoint too this. He also he took the horses to the light therapy, that laser therapy that, a doctor would use to get in and heal like any torn tissue if they had something like that. But I could do the scan and show him on the horse where the doctor would put the scanner. I was just giving him, showing him that I could read the energy as well. And so those are those places. He was kind of surprised to see that those were the places that the doctor did treat. So, but that just lasted like a few months and stuff, and that's all he needed it for. But that was a really nice experience. And the horses, I could tell really, because there was two mares and they were both pregnant, and I could feel the baby moving inside and see it, and they relax, like their ways of relaxing and stuff, and I really was I don't know, they take you to a whole different experience, horses do, because you can sit there, and I just love doing it. It's like to me to a different place with them in a way. You just forget about time, and I don't know. They really trusted me too, so they weren't nervous or anything like that. So yeah, it just really helps with the Reiki stuff. Because animals can sense the person as energy, and it just kind of, they really relax faster. They come around me, a lot of the animals, and I just lay down, because I don't even have to lay my hands or touch them. They just feel my energy, and it's because the Reiki will automatically go out if they need it, So yeah, that's really some just divine experience to be able to help animals. Really, that's a big thing I'm passionate about too, as well as helping animals.
And Christy, before you started doing Reiki, would you say you were less or more intuitive, or did you already start that way, kind of to a degree?
Yeah, I was intuitive, and like interested really in dreams and stuff, you know, like in numerology and astrology and, you know, doing all those things, just studying. But I feel that Reiki really opened up all the channels all the way. Like maybe the door was just kind of cracked before. And so with Reiki, it opened up all the doors and many more to open. You know, as you continue doing things, you learn and have new experiences and stuff too. And that kind of opens up a new door for you as well. So like with the regression thing you're talking about too, it helps with that, like with releasing, you know, things if you, because we hold that in our body, you know, if it's like with the Karuna Reiki, it goes all the way to the core of where the trauma started. So I'll sit with the person, you know, distant healing or hands-on, and just wait to see if anything comes up of what the trauma is, you know, what needs to be released. And if something does come up, like an image, or usually it's an image, then I'll share that with the person too. So, and that helps them to acknowledge it, that maybe they didn't know. But if it's usually like with the heart stuff, you know, like on the person, then it's maybe like something that's happened, you know, like something that hurt the heart, you know, like if it was a relationship or something like that they need to release. Maybe they're holding anger or something like that, you know. So anyway, whatever it is that comes to mind, then I'll share that, but then I'll just send the healing to them until I feel that that's moved out, till that energy is cleared. And most of the time I can pinpoint where it's at too on the body and just send it to there, and it kind of ripples out. The energy kind of breaks up, and then I smooth it out. Like you just smooth out the energy until it's all the way out of the body. And also doing the chakra, going through all the chakras and clearing each one of those. That's always something for everyone to do every day. You know, since we absorb a lot of everything in our environment, that's always good to do, to clear out each of the chakras.
And what are some ways people can clear their chakras?
You can, online there's videos you can just listen to. It's like the chakra clearing, and it's just music. Now, a guided meditation online, you know, they have all kinds of stuff that I've seen, and you just focus on the color for each one of them. They have videos for all of them at once, or just one at a time, you know, so you can just research that online. And it just has you like focus on each color and clearing it, and if it gives you an affirmation, and you just visualize the color of each of the chakras, and one at a time, you know, and see it cleared out. And it, like the red chakra is the root chakra, and that helps for grounding energy. So you just visualize red and just see that color and see it clear, and you can even put your hands on the root chakra, and that will help to clear it out as well. So everybody can do their own self-healing as well. If you will it, then it will be, you know, you can relax your own body as well. You don't have like Reiki symbols to use, but you can calm yourself down as well just by breathing. If you just breathe in, like, and then hold it and then blow out. If you kind of feel anxious, or if you're rushing in the morning and trying to hurry, you know, like that kind of thing too. And then just do that as well for kids, you know, if they are anxious, just have them do like some breathing and then blow it out. And that really helps all of us kind of relax and be okay, be able to think clearly, you know, so, and not just so reactive. Because if you just react, then you notice things happening, like dropping keys. If you drop your keys and fumble and, you know, all these things, and just take a minute and do like and just breathe. Do like a breathing exercise, maybe 5 or 6 breaths of deep breathing, and then just recenter yourself, and then everything should go better.
Yeah.
Even in traffic, you can do that while you're in traffic as well.
Yeah, that sounds
Just clears your mind. It helps you to think clearly instead of reacting.
Oh yeah, I can definitely identify with that. I've been getting better, but it was pro at reacting. That's for sure.
Yeah, when you react, then you just
Make matters
it's
worse.
really you're not thinking fully of what you're doing. So it's better if you, and then you don't remember what happened, and you know what I mean, like in that way too, like why did I do that? Why I missed my turn, or however. So it's good just to do that while you're driving as well. Just do some breathing.
So, Christy, I also wanted to discuss your light language and your light script. I know that you do a lot of that. Can you discuss what that is for our listeners?
The light language, it just kind of is like if you have heard of maybe talking like in tongues, that's kind of what it sounds like. But it's, I didn't know I've always done it, like just talking, like it's like almost like a pretend talking to me. It's because I've talked to my cat that way, it's kind of in that way, just a different language that just comes to you. It can be like even a tone that you feel that you resonate with saying, or just any kind of just different things all the time come to mind, and people can translate that too. They've translated that to really mean something. They can understand what you're saying, and so I didn't even know that either. So I'm really learning about that as well. But I just say it, it raises the energy too in the room, because it is like a channeled message coming out of another language or another sound, because sound really is powerful for us as for energy. So we feel it, and it can change the whole room. So if you tone or sing or, anything that you feels like coming out, letting it flow out, and that can clear the room, clear the energy. If you have like something stagnant, or if you're in your car and you want to sing, then that raises the energy. So it's kind of like that. That's how I really see it, as just raising the energy of the place.
Yeah,
because I wish I could translate it. I keep wishing I could translate it to, some people can do that. I wish I could do that, but it just comes out, and that's just whatever I'm saying, then it does. I know that the intention is to raise the energy. That's what my intention is.
I always, well, not always, but what I've been thinking about recently was about how babies come into this world, and how they don't yet know how to speak whatever language their parents speak yet. I figure that's kind of like light language. Like they already come in with their language, even if it's like baby gurgle or whatever, that could be light language. Yeah, that makes
sense. Yeah, I just thought about that. That does make sense.
Like maybe that's something carried over from a past life or another aspect or something like that.
Yeah, because you know how the moms will usually talk like that too, like in a higher pitched voice, and it just makes the baby smile, So that's kind of how the language is, and because how they're like, I don't know what I'm saying, but it's making the baby happy, so it's okay with me, So that's how it is, It's kind of, we have all different languages inside of us, whether they make sense, whether they all run together, or whether it's just something that flows out naturally. So it's just kind of it's just letting it flow out, and I know for the baby they like it, so that's okay. They smile and they feel that sound, the energy of sound really soothes them too, because it's the mom's voice or the dad's voice that they are used to hearing around them when they're in the womb. So they like that voice too, and all the ways that they communicate. They like that vibration of the person that's around them most. So, and with the dogs, you know how you see the babies with the big dogs.
You read my thoughts.
Stuff.
You read my thoughts. You read my thoughts. I was going to go on to dogs next. Sorry, go on.
To babies in the dogs and stuff. Yeah, how they just kind of lay with them, and they know already. Like they're just both open energy.
Yeah.
The dog and the baby. They don't know any harm, or how people say pit bull, no way, or however. But most of the time, then that the pit bull is like laying there just with the baby, so it's like part of the family, so, and the baby's used to it too, because they can sense the energy as well, and the dog can sense the energy, or if they feel like the baby's in, some people have the service dogs for kids, which is awesome. I love that. And
I understand pit bulls.
Since when the kid's going to have like a seizure or something in that way, and they'll, start acting different. And
I understand.
When they sense it.
I understand pit bulls were used as babysitters sometime in the late 1900s or whatever, like when the parents were out, just to kind of like watch the children.
Oh, really?
They used to use, I guess that makes sense now, because I'm thinking of like the little rascals, and these kids were just running around with this pit bull,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Petey.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he was part of the gang, and watching them and stuff like that. Definitely. Yeah. That's cute. Yeah. I don't know, that is cute. I like that movie. I know.
And dogs sorry, go ahead.
Like, make sure you give the dog the list. Now feed the baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Clean the diaper.
He'll be like,
and they're like,
okay.
Huh? I didn't sign up for all of this.
Protect, yes. Change diaper, no.
It's like, I ain't doing it.
That is so funny. Another thing I was gonna talk about ask about was toning and dogs or pets. They really respond to you when you're speaking to them in a certain tones, like when I call my dog, for example, I go, Lily, come here. Or when I'm going to leave, I'll be like, I love you, Lily. Stay.
Yeah.
I'll be back. She responds to that up and down toning.
Yeah, because we're all energy, so they can read energy very, very good. The animals, because there's no, they just feel it right away. There's like not a shield up or nothing, so they're like they brighten up, or they know too, because they can read our mind in a way. Like we give off pictures in our mind. We hold like images of things, and so when you're thinking about your dog and you're driving home and you're thinking about your dog, and you notice like your dog is waiting there at the door for you, then you've been thinking about your dog, and you telepathically, even though you might not have known you did, but you are telepathically communicating with your dog, sending the dog the image that you're driving home and you're coming home to see them, and so that's why they're waiting there for you.
Oh my gosh, that totally makes
so
sense.
It can be even your cat. Your cats can pick it up too. Of course, they're really psychically aware of things, but a lot of times my cat will be waiting at the door when I'm coming home too, and it does. You think I'm going home, and they can tune into us, and like throughout the day they do that, and they can sense if you're upset, if you are angry when you come home, then the dog will most of the time the dog tries to comfort the person, their owner and everything like that. But some will react as well. They'll pick up the energy and they'll be hyper or something like that too. So it kind of depends on the dog breed and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
But definitely like with animals and stuff, I like watching the Dog Whisperer, and I've learned a lot through his shows about exercising the dog and stuff, and then his energy will be balanced for you as well. He'll be a good dog. If he's needing always to be running, it's exerting all the energy, and then that way both of you can relax after he's had his run, So it's like with us, how we need to exercise to release like all the tension and stuff, or stretch, or do those things for our bodies and stuff to release tension and everything. So that's what it is. We just get kind of sitting, how you sit for a while and then you want to stretch when you stand up, so you're exerting that energy.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what it is. And with the dog responding to like the toning or your voice, so they hear your voice and they feel that, of course, and they know your voice anyway, and what even if you just are not even saying anything like a word, if you're just using like, any little saying that you say to your animal, then they know that means something. It's like if you have like the whistle, how they train dogs with a whistle, and then one whistle is for something, and then 2, 3 or something, like it's a pattern in a way too, that they know that they'll get a treat if they hear one whistle. You know what I mean? Like in that way as well. So they respond definitely to our voices for sure.
Yeah, that's really amazing. Mine always knows when I'm gonna be leaving. That's for sure. She gets into her little doggy bed and just lies down and just watches me as I leave.
Oh, she knows. Yeah, that's good. You have her trained good then to do that. So she, that's really good. It's like something that you have trained her to do in a way.
Yeah, whether I knew it or not, I was just, she was probably just attentive to, when I took out her doggy bed and, put it next to the couch and put her little chew toy there, and,
Yep.
It usually
You've
that
trained
happens.
her to do that. She knows. Okay, she got that out, so we gotta. She's going to work.
Yeah, exactly.
They pick it up really fast.
Already.
After you just have to keep working with them and everything. If they're like pet training, like if you're potty training the dog, you have to be consistent with stuff, with things, where they don't know. You have to tell them what you need them to do. Like the dogs, they really do like to have to work and to have something to do, like to be of service. So they like to go run, or those service dogs, they love that, so because they feel proud that they have a task to do, and that they are on duty in a way too, when they have the kid there, or the adult or whoever that they have to monitor at all times. They have to be like a sensory kind of thing as well, just feeling the energy of the person. That's what they're tuned into. So you'll watch like the person will move, and then the dog will get up and make sure that they're okay, or come and lay their hand on them, and all that, or come lay by them. So they do all that, or most of the time they just hold the energy of relaxation for the kid. If the kid is really hyper, or has any kind of special needs, where they are. Where they're really they need relaxation, then a service dog is really good, that I've watched and researched and stuff too, how they just lay down, and then the kid will relax as well, because they kind of mimic the energy, so, and the dog sends it out, I'm sure, to them. They know that that's what I think they're like angels in a way as well, because they kind of know what what the kid needs, so that's really something that it's hard to describe, really. It's just like I always just think that they're angel dogs, that do that service work.
Yeah, or I think that just canines in general, they love us so much. I think I forget who he was channeling. I think it was Ivan who was channeling some being. I was a Pleiadian, and the Pleiadian was talking about how they get judged somewhat because they're not following the rules. And then he mentioned that the canine species are also, in a sense, not following the rules either because the Pleiadians and the canines get too close to us, but it's because they love us so much. It's just why they're here and why they're so close to us.
I know, they're part of our family, so it's I know that they're part of your family, and then you still, you look at what they need, they're like your child and the dog, they're both, what the child needs and what the dog needs to feel happy. So, and we do that for our pets. We, whatever they need, if they like going on a ride, or if they, like Lily, you take her to the beach and she sits there on the beach and watches the ocean, she loves to do that. And that's, or dig in the sand to play, like they like those things, and you enjoy seeing them happy, so it's kind of like you would enjoy seeing your child do the same thing, so they're like our child as well. That's really how we associate with our pets, is, and I could never understand leaving a dog on a chain outside, I don't.
Yeah, that hurts my heart.
I don't understand that at all, and don't even think that they need to have a pet if that's how they treat the dog. It's leaving them on a chain in the backyard and never going to go talk to them. They don't even need a pet, so I don't know. I guess I never understand why, if you think of why the animals are choosing to be our pets, why they would choose. I guess so they can have the experience of how humans can treat animals, some humans treat animals cruel, and
or
I guess
maybe
that's for some experience.
Maybe they were maybe there were a human in the past life where they treated animals bad, and they kind of had to learn that lesson.
Yeah, and it could be anything, like that, and it could be a learning experience for like with me, when the lady contacted me because the pit bull had been beaten up, so then I could use my gift to share with the dog and show myself that it did work, in that way as well. So there's so many reasons that we can look at with that. So I think if you, and the owner might probably doesn't even see, if they are bait dog or something like that, they don't care, of course. They just, I can't, it's hard for me to look at any cruelty for animals. It's really just hurts because I feel the animal's energy. It's like I can't do that, I can't sit and watch people, even with their kid, any kind of abuse. It just hurts too much to sit and watch anything like that. Even the Discovery Channel, when the animals are killing each other for it, because that's just a natural part of life for them. But I don't like watching that either. I don't like sitting and watching the animal because, it's still, I feel the energy. So I just have to, I'm just more cautious of what I watch a lot, so I don't feel that, because it's almost too much for me to get out of my head after that, because it sends an image to my head, to my brain, to my mind. It sends that image of the TV or something, whatever I'm watching, so any kind of scary movie too. If you watch the scary movies and they are kind of like twisted, those movies, those are hard to shake off, and you really do have almost that experience, and you kind of create it too. And so I just don't watch a lot of that stuff because it's too much for me it's scary for me in a way, because it's creating that fear or something like that wasn't there before. But it's creating it, not triggering anything, but it is creating something that wasn't there, So I don't want to watch something and then create it in my reality, So I think that's how a lot of the violence in the world starts, is by people watching too much TV, and it's aggressive. And so we pick it up and feel that energy they project, the newscasters, or, watch the news, and you'll find you'll feel how they are talking and arguing back and forth. And it's like, oh my goodness, can you turn down the TV some, or turn it off, So this is too much sometimes for us, but a lot of people will sit and watch, like my elderly people, they watch a lot of TV and stuff, I've noticed, and they have it loud and all the political stuff, and it's too much for me, but maybe they're used to watching it or something. I don't know how they process that, but it's too much for me to listen to all the political things, I like YouTube a lot, so, and watching what I choose to learn about, and that kind of works for me better. And it's up to you, of course, everybody has their own sensitivity and stuff like that. So for me, I don't have cable, so, and that's okay with me.
Yeah, I don't even watch Netflix. I mean, they have, of course, they have programming that you can choose. However, I think it's changed so much from its initial inception. And there's a lot of the documentaries. Do they even have new documentaries? A lot of the documentaries I used to watch on Netflix, I can't find them anymore. It's like they've taken a lot of them down. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I understand they have to switch
up.
Yeah, their new stuff, but they haven't got a lot of new documentaries either. I haven't seen anything new. So yeah, I stopped watching Netflix like a year and a half ago, mostly because I just found a lot more in YouTube and my own internet research, and just kind of came away from just television in general.
I know, because like a whole movie, that's a long time to sit. For me it's like 2 hours I have to sit here and watch this whole movie. So sometimes that's too much time to sit for me. So like with YouTube, you can scan through the whole video, or watch it when you want to watch it, and it's just kind of faster for our minds, and you can be listening and doing other things as well. So like with Netflix, I always did that. I noticed I just watched the previews a lot with the movies, and then that was enough for me to see the whole movie in a way. So, and I do like the series, like the series in TV shows, but when they put it on DVD, that's what I prefer. So I could watch it when I want to and turn it off, like all that. So, but yeah, the shorter the movies, the better for me as well. So that's probably why I like YouTube as well, so you can do your research, and that's all you needed, to learn from at the time. So yeah, like right now I'm studying time travel and that kind of stuff. I love the science, sci-fi stuff.
It's funny because you're reading my mind. 'Cause I'm about to ask you questions, and you're already going on to subject matter I was going to ask you next. But I just wanted to interrupt you really quickly because we're gonna wrap up in about 10 minutes. but you understand that about psionics and Miami, the Miami area is apparently ground zero for the Zika virus. How do you think psionics or any kind of energy protection could help us in this situation?
And we were talking about that yesterday too.
Yeah.
With anything, I mean, I would just try to stay away from like chemical stuff to spray on your skin. Like they have all kinds of stuff, and it goes right into your bloodstream. Like whatever brand. Try to use something natural, and like tea tree oil, like essential oil stuff that's for bug repellent, or peppermint. Essential oil, stuff like that won't hurt you, or cause cancer, or, so many things cause cancer, anymore. But yeah, like with that and with shielding your energy, you can look up on YouTube some of the ways that you can shield yourself. You can put yourself in like a bubble, if you want to imagine that, and say that's your shielding, and keep yourself inside of that all the time, in your mind. Imagine that you have that around yourself, around your pets and kids, when they go to school, and around your home and car. Just kind of clear that energy out every day too, as well, like with that chakra thing. And you can just do it all in your mind on your way home if you want to do that. Just clearing your energy. You can do so much in your mind that you don't really, if you don't have time to sit and watch videos of stuff, just learn about it first, of course, so you know what you're doing and what you have to give your undivided attention to what you're doing so it's effective, in creating that whole psionic shield bubble around you, or shielding, or however. So that will help a lot, with energy and stuff, so you don't pick it up in a way. But no matter what is in the air or the ground, like that, I mean, it's not just in one place, it's everywhere. So just kind of do that shielding and clearing your own energy. And if you can eat healthy, then try doing that more often. It's so much to where we're not exposed to that, because most of us like live in the city or apartments or something like that, so we don't have a garden. So we try to go eat healthy, but sometimes we don't, so that's just part of our experience, our human experience, that we're having to change everything within ourselves and kind of get back into earth stuff, and grounding, and becoming more conscious of what we're putting in our bodies and what we're watching on TV or listening to, because those are all sound waves affecting our energy. So if you maybe are feeling, maybe you walk into the mall or something like that, or Walmart or anywhere like that, and you all of a sudden are agitated, well, you're like a sponge, because we're energy, and they're projecting their thoughts, and we're picking up on it like receivers.
That's how
and
I felt
we might
at
not
Macy's.
even know it. So it's good to always shield yourself, all the time. You can do it 100 times a day if you have to, if you're really a busy person, and you want to just continue to do that until you feel that you're not absorbing others' energies and thoughts is what you're picking up on. And there's sound waves that we can't even hear that affect our energy. So it's good to just shield yourself all the time, so you're not picking up on it, and it's not affecting you, because it's a thought form that's being sent out, and it's if it's focused, then that's really powerful. So use your own thinking, your own thoughts to the full attention, and shield yourself, and do that for your own protection. So that's what I would recommend.
Thank you, Christy. And right before we close, can you also tell me about your cool drawings that you do? They're so beautiful. I saw one that was multicolored, and it looked like It just reminded me of just like different like hybrid type beings.
Oh yeah. My drawings, I I originally started doing those from the rock art, the petroglyphs. You know, I started studying the Navajo because I'm a Cherokee Native American. So I started doing my genealogy stuff, and then I looked on to other Native American cultures, and I was really drawn to the Navajo and the Anasazi. You know, they're the ancient ones. They wrote on the cave art, and that's because they didn't have paper. You know, so they drew all kinds of bugs and snakes and looks like just different creatures. So I started drawing that, and then seeing more stuff online of like the grays, you know, and so that's easy for me to draw. So that's kind of what I stick with a lot, is drawing those, and then just kind of creating more, you know, as I see more and learn more to draw and everything like that. So that's where it kind of starts from, is just I've seen a lot of pictures and stuff too, and just and go off of that, of what I like and everything as well. So yeah, my mom, she's like, yeah, that's good, but I don't know what that is, but that's okay, you know. that's your drawing, so that's all right. It's a good drawing though. You know. So
at least she's
some
supportive.
people don't understand what I'm drawing. You know, if I do like the symbols and stuff, it's just like, it's like a, you know how you do automatic writing and it just flows out, and you're not even really, you're just letting the energy flow through you and flow out. So that's kind of what my drawings are. So like I've done before, like the regressions, to where people ask me, you know, a question of something that they're looking for an answer for, and I'll usually draw like the energy scan of their body, like the Reiki, and then I'll get stuff off of that, you know. So I'll draw that, or whatever comes to mind, or if they're requesting something as well, you know, then that's what I'll try to draw for them.
That sounds great. And before we wrap up, Christy, could you please tell our listeners where to find you?
I have my own website. It's ChristyCampbell11.com, and you can contact me on there, and it lists all my services as well. And if you'll give me your name and kind of what you're looking for, to if you're needing Reiki, or if you would like me to do like a picture, I can draw a picture, like do the aura scan. If the person will just write what they're kind of looking for, why they're contacting me, you know, what they're needing, and then leave me like contact information, then I can get back with them as well.
Okay, thank you, Christy, and I really appreciate you being with us today. Hopefully we'll get to chat with you soon. And
thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
It's been a great conversation, Christy. And that's it for our show. Thanks for listening to Off the Deep End on sportsovertime.com. See you next